All right, we're going to call the June 21st meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Smith? Here. Mr. Vaculate?
Here.
Mr. Murray?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Here. This time, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, does anyone desire to add, delete, or separate any items of the consent agenda as proposed? Okay. I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented for the regular board meeting of June 21st.
So moved. Support.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculate?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on May 17th, 2021.
So moved. Support.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculate?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. Is there any board members with correspondence? Mr. Carroll?
Nope.
Mr. Smola? All right, Mr. Smola, can you continue recognizing our guests and visitors? Yes, thank you. Seeing that no one has registered to address the board, we will continue on to our financial reports, Mr. Carroll.
Okay. Should have a financial packet in front of you here. First report you see is our cash reconciliation, followed by our financial summary. And the first stapled packet is the cash summary. These are all of the funds and where the money is located in each fund. And the second stapled packet is the all the checks that we have written for the month. You'll see the board graph, and this board graph gives you where we are compared to the forecast, and we are 91% of the way through the fiscal year as of these financials right here at the end of May. So you can see revenue is pretty much maxed out of what we will be receiving for the year, and our expenses at the end of May are pretty much in line with what was forecasted. And comparing it to last year, our cash balance is trending just as well. On the back of that, you'll see our payroll and benefits. And again, payroll, we are at 91% and benefits at 88%. So we are right in line with where we were or where we've projected to be. We are wrapping up our fiscal year right now. So there are a lot of items to look at and get ready for June 30th. So you'll see a couple items on this agenda in order to do so and allow us to put the funds where we need to be to close up the books. We've been working pretty hard trying to close up POs and get invoices paid. So we are in really good shape right now. So we will have a very low carryover encumbrance for next fiscal year. So I can take any questions if you have them.
Not yet.
Okay.
Soon.
All right. Kind of moving, if you would like me to kind of move down the list here, at the beginning of the year, we did advance money to food service and athletics to get them going for the year. As we are in June, approaching the end of the fiscal year, we do take those advances back. Athletics, Fund 300 is the fund that does need to have money transferred in order to maintain a positive cash balance and get them going for start of next fiscal year. So you will see that transfer listed below.
Any further questions? All right. So from here, we'll follow in with our financial. Thank you, Mr. Carroll. Sure. Our financial reports. I will need a motion to approve the May 2021 financial report. We'll also need a motion to approve a transfer of $7,000 general fund into the athletic department. We need a motion to amend resources for the financial year ending June 30th, 2021. We need to approve the following appropriation modification for the fiscal year ended June 30th of 2021. To authorize the treasurer to carry over any outstanding encumbrances as of June 30th of 2021. You see an increase for tournament funds of $825, an increase of athletics for $20,000, increase of FFA for $14,000, increase girls basketball $25,000, increase the ECSE grant of $47.68, increase for food service advance return of $80,000, increase athletic department advance return of $50,000, increase Title III return of advance for $705.61, increase for transfers of $7,000, and a decrease in Title III supplies for $2.98. We need to approve temporary appropriations for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2022 at 75% of fiscal year 21 actual expenditures. We need to approve the following federal grant for the 21-22 school year for Title I improving basic programs of $109,734.93. And then we have a list of donations that we need to accept. $100 anonymous donation to the Student Assistance Fund, $100 from the Andersons to the high school cheerleading, $250 from Sharon Cinderella Ball to the Sharon Bruce Memorial, $750 from Robert Tip to the Tip Family Scholarship, $200 from Richard Ford to the Jennifer Ford Babcock Memorial Scholarship, $100 from Robin Ford Parker to the Jennifer Ford Babcock Memorial Scholarship, $200 from Nancy Pepis to Jennifer Ford Babcock Memorial Scholarship, and $200 from Sharon Ford to Jennifer Ford Babcock Scholarship. At this time, I just need a motion to approve the preceding financial motions, reports, and other financial items.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion?
We could go back to section D. Could you explain a few things on that, like the increase to athletics? Is that an advance into the athletic fund to
So,
start the year, or is that a refund from what we had already advanced?
so this would be the athletic fund actually brought in more money than anticipated,
Mhm.
and that could be through donations or ticket sales. So, in order to spend the money, we needed to increase the appropriations.
Gotcha.
That would be or a majority of these funds as well.
They brought in more money than we had anticipated.
Correct.
Gotcha. That's it then.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculett,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. Move on to the personnel. We need to approve FMLA request Miranda Kelly beginning on August 16th, 2021 and ending on November 5th of 2021. We need to offer the following teacher a one-year limited teaching contract effective with the start of the 2021-22 school year. Andrew Howout, EES Intervention Specialist. We need to offer the following a two-year limited non-teaching, non-bargaining unit contract commencing on July 1st of 2021 and ending June 30th of 2023. Harry Brown, Transportation Coordinator. Jason Liu, Groundskeeping. Melissa Nagy, Accounts Payable. Michael Smith, Mechanic. We need to rescind the three-year limited teaching contract for Nicole Ziegler, approved by the Evergreen Board of Education at the May 17th, 2021 meeting, and approve a continuing teaching contract for Nicole Ziegler, effective with the start of the 2021-22 school year. We need to offer the following supplemental contracts and approve volunteers for the 21-22 school year, pending the completion of all pupil activity permits required. There's a list for each sport. Would you guys like me to read them out? Yes. Ethan Van Lukey, basketball. Shane Chamberlain, basketball. Elaine Fields, basketball. Darius Taylor, basketball. Brittany Hendricks, basketball. Hannah Vaughn, basketball. Todd Woodring, basketball. Brian Nagy, basketball. John Langeneffer, basketball. Dustin Hudick, basketball. Kevin Knight, bowling. Megan Kronovich, cheer. Morgan Miller, cheer. Adam Gleckler, wrestling. Mark Simbolin, baseball. Jared Walker, track. We need to approve the following high school and middle school paid and volunteer event workers for the 21-22 school year, and to set the compensation for certain athletic event positions to be paid from the athletic fund. I will not read through all the volunteer names. However, the positions would be middle school ticket taker, $25 per night, Middle school clock, 25 per night. Middle school concessions, 25 per night. High school ticket takers, 25 per night. Sheriff Department security is 75 per night. Freshman JV varsity volleyball scorebook is 10 per match. Freshman JV varsity volleyball clock, this is confusing me, 10, 10, and 15. Freshman JV varsity football clock is 25, 25, and then 35. Assistant facility manager is 35 per night. Freshman JV varsity and basketball scorebooks are 10, 10, 25 for varsity. Freshman JV varsity basketball clocks 10, 10, and then 15 for varsity. High school announcers are 25 per night. We need to rescind and offer the following supplemental contracts for 21-22 school year pending the completion of any and all certifications and or licensure requirements. Laura Johnson to rescind her elementary intervention teacher, which was approved on May 17th, and then approve Andrea Hessen elementary intervention team. We need to reduce the number of contracted hours for the high school secretary from 212 total days to 206 for the 2021-2022 school year and beyond. At this time, am I missing my motion here? Is it? Okay. So at this time, we just need a motion to approve the above listed personnel.
So moved.
I see you broke.
Support.
Questions or comments? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carried. All right, so we have one additional personnel. We need to offer supplemental contract to Zach Schaefer, JV boys basketball coach, pending the completion of full activity permit requirements.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek?
Abstain.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. All right, now we'll move on to other business. We need to approve a one-year negotiated agreement between the Evergreen Local Board of Education and the Ohio Association of Public School Employees as recommended by the board's negotiation team and ratified by the association. This agreement includes a 1% increase on the base salary in 21-22 school year. It also provides a cap for future insurance premium increases to limit the employer's share of the cost to provide health, vision, and dental insurance.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion? Did their meeting go well? It was no problems, ratified, everything was a good percentage. Awesome. All right. Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we need a motion to set the following breakfast and lunch prices for the 21-22 school year. Prices represent a 5-cent increase from last year's 20 to 21 school year.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion?
The state set these prices? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. We need a motion to accept an educational agreement with the Northwest Ohio Juvenile Detention Training and Rehabilitation Center for educational purpose for students during any period of detention at a cost of $44 per day of instruction, effective July 1st, 21 through June 30th of 22. Please note that last year's cost of service was $44 per day as well.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek?
Yes.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer?
Yes, motion carries. All right, we need a motion to approve student handbooks as recommended by the administrators of the high school, middle school, and elementary school and preschool, as well as the following student fees schedules as recommended for the 21-22 school year. Grades 9 through 12 will be billed for individual courses with a maximum course fee of $125 per academic year. Any high school activity fees, class fees, administrative fees, and co-curricular fees will be in addition to the maximum course fee.
So moved. Support.
Question or discussion?
How's kindergarten 36 last year and 2012 this year? All right. Thanks.
Were there any dramatic, notable changes to the handbooks? Okay, thank you.
Time, we need a motion to authorize the treasurer to bill Computer Association membership $173.22. Last year, it was $41.08, and to approve the technical service agreement authorizing the purchase of IEP Anywhere software, Zoom licenses, content filtering, and state software for a total cost of approximately $4,500 based on our current ADM and licensing.
So moved.
Support.
Questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. This time we need a motion to purchase school district insurance through the Ohio School Plan administered by Highlight Administrative Services LLC for a premium of $57,695, and for the 12-month period of July 1st of 21 through July 1st of 22. Coverage includes $714 for cyber, $268 for pollution, $9,481 for auto fleet, $40,211 for property, $535 for violence, and $6,486 for liability. Please note the premium represents a 5.75% increase over last year.
So move.
Support.
Question or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. This time we need to approve a salary increase of 1% for all district employees for the 21-22 school year and for 4 personal days. In addition, all district employees who work the entire 2021 academic year will receive a $1,500 COVID stipend.
So moved. Support.
Questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we need to approve Evergreen Local Schools as a pilot school and adopt the Sierra Strong curriculum for the 21-22 school year and beyond. The Sierra Strong curriculum includes 3 health lessons and 4 physical education lessons for middle school students at no charge to the district. Each lesson is designed to take 45 to 60 minutes and can easily be split to accommodate schedules. Curriculum includes everything necessary for teachers to teach the subject matter, including teacher resources, videos, PowerPoint slides, and student handouts.
So moved.
Support.
Question or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Staying.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. We need a motion to approve a 1-year contract with Thader to provide food service management services to Evergreen Local Schools beginning on July 1st, 2021 and end on June 30th of 22, with 4 renewals of 1 year with mutual agreement between the district and Thader.
So moved.
Support.
Question or discussion?
Just for review, when you visited Jackson, everything went really well, correct?
We were very impressed with the speed they went through, the options they provided the students, and the number of students who were taking advantage of the lunches there. So everything looked great.
Did you ask any of the kids if they were using the interactive,
We did. They said with new items is when they typically are asked to do it.
were most of them participating, or didn't they say?
They didn't say.
Just curious. Thank you.
All right. Any further questions? Roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. This time we need to approve a contract with 3-dimensional physical therapy to provide physical therapy services for students in the Evergreen Local School District for the 21-22 school year. Services shall occur approximately 4 hours per week and will not exceed 8 hours per week at an hourly rate of $95 per hour plus $25 per day travel expense.
So move. Support.
questions or discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculik,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Kiefer.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, Mr. Smolla, would you like to take over with discussion and information?
Sure. Both of these are more for informational items. The semi-bullying report for the second semester of the past school year, we had one incident of bullying as defined by the state for the second semester. That was in the middle school, and the situation was resolved by the middle school principal. Any questions on our bullying report? And then we are part of the wellness grant, and this is a summary of the activities that took place during the past school year with the wellness committee, which is made up of teachers and administrators and other educational or health professionals outside of the district. So this is the summary of what we did this year, and we already have a game plan for next year.
All right. Mrs. Durheim.
Good evening and happy summer. It doesn't feel like summer outside, but just to wrap up the end of the school year, we did have field day. We were able to do that this year, and I'd like to recognize Nicole Ziegler for her efforts in planning the field day and making it a huge success. It was 90 degrees. It was extremely hot, but everyone enjoyed it. And the fire department at the end sprayed all the kids with water, and it was just a big hoopla. And it was just an enjoyable day by everyone. So we were able to go out with a great opportunity for all the kids and the volunteers and everybody to have a really fun day. Our summer reading program is underway, and this is being coordinated by Dolores Swineford and Diane Pickering. It will end on July 1st, and each week has a theme that they're bringing in different guests to entertain and have the kids read to animals and do a lot of fun activities. And the reports I'm hearing is that the students are thoroughly enjoying the summer reading program. The custodians are busy cleaning and clearing out classrooms. I don't know if you've had a chance to go by the elementary school, but the landscaping looks really nice. Hank Roberts has been doing a very nice job of keeping the weeds under control, and so it's looking very, very nice at the elementary school. We were not able to do the teacher, meet the teacher day this year, and based on the teacher's feedback, it's beneficial for the students to get a letter from the teacher to welcome them to their classroom, give them information about school supplies, and so we're planning to mail those out the week of August 9th. And I think it's just a great way to let the kids know who their teacher is going to be for the school year. You've already seen the student fees that you've approved for the upcoming school year. And I'm happy to say that we are going to be offering open house on August 17th. We have several food vendors, weenie dogs and Viking pizza, along with Snowy Summers flavored slushy ice offerings. So the bus drivers will also be available to answer any kind of transportation questions, especially for the students that have never been on a bus before, what time the bus approximately will get there, and what to expect when they ride the bus for the very first time. So on behalf of all the staff and the teachers, I wish you a very enjoyable summer break, and we'll see you back to school August 18th. Thank you. Any questions?
I do. So we have 9 days from when they get their letter to when we start school. Is there any way to push those letters out earlier than August 9th?
I will
I know
find
some will,
out. Yeah.
but I didn't know if that was like a last minute deadline or.
Well, our secretary and myself return on August 2nd, and so we might be stuffing the envelopes and putting labels on letters. If we could possibly get it out by Friday, we will try to do that. All right.
All right. Any other questions? All right, Mr. Rupert. Thank you. Mr. Heim.
Thank you.
Good evening. Mine's real short. We finished the school year. It was crazy, but it was a wonderful finish. I just want to thank the students, staff, families, parents, community. Yes, it was a challenging year, but it was a good one. And we are preparing for next year already. Shout out to Janice Smith and Sheila Natter. They are cleaning the middle school. It's looking good. They're wiping things down. So we'll be ready to go for next year, which the middle school is announcing next year is going to be the best year ever in our building. We have some new things planned after a trying year this year. Next year is going to be the best year ever. So just stay tuned for what that's going to look like. Any questions?
Mr. Curtis.
We're happy to say all grades are finalized for the school year. This year was the first year we organized transcripts, diplomas, graduation photos, all those kinds of things for senior pickup. Every student, with the exception of one who's out of town, so I understand, has picked everything up. So that process seemed to go really well. There is a lot to organizing final grades for the semester, with a variety of kids attending in a variety of different places outside Evergreen. So that process seemed to go pretty darn efficient. I think we're going to try that again next year. We are finished with scheduling. Obviously, I pulled some numbers. I know one of our focuses was to increase enrollment in AP courses, and this past academic year we had 35 different students who took 43 different advanced placement exams. Currently scheduled for next year with the addition of 3 additional AP courses, 2 of which are web-based online through an adhesive program that's subsidized through Amazon, and our AP government course. We now have 45 different students who have registered to take 78 different advanced placement courses. So we seem to be looking really good in that department. We're really excited to be able to offer some of those different opportunities to kids. We intend to offer here at the high school to all 10th grade students the PSAT test next year. Here in years past, we have offered the PSAT as an optional test for kids, and now with the increase in AP opportunities, AP coursework for kids, we're really looking to figure out a better way to capture and identify those kids that would be successful in AP coursework. We're always having regular conversations with parents about College Credit Plus courses, whether kids are ready, whether they're not ready, what courses within even the Evergreen track that kids are ready for versus not ready for. And we're always looking for better ways to help identify strengths and weaknesses academically. PSAT offers AP readiness reports, as well as other reports that are invaluable for us to be able to help identify kids and what courses that they're ready for and whether they will be successful or not be successful in. So just one additional tool that will help us in guiding kids in the direction that they decide to go. Also, we have conversations about college, career, something else. So those will help just as one additional tool when we're having conversations with kids and families in that regard. Also, in addition to that, the PSAT is the national qualifying exam for the National Merit Scholarship Contest. Most recently, Colin Smith was nationally identified as a commended student for performing in the top 3.3% of 1.5 million students in the United States. So commended to him, definitely hard work, well served. It has been several years, I think, since we've had a commended student, actually. There was nothing that I could find. So being able to offer the AP or the PSAT test to all 10th grade students will help us identify kids that could be competitive as 11th graders in taking that qualifying exam to compete for that National Merit Scholarship. So We, in addition to that, I guess the last thing that I have is we're continuing conversations at looking at cycling out outdated furniture. Much of the furniture we've had at the high school level is brought over from the middle school, from before the building was opened here. So we're looking at efficient ways to cycle out the most outdated furniture to make sure that we have adequate furniture for kids here at the high school level. So we're working on a plan to identify what's the best way to go about that, and probably see something like that here in the next month or two. So any questions for me?
Mr. Curtis.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller.
We started construction today, or demolition of the weight room and wrestling room this morning. They got up the wall one end of the wrestling room, and now they're taking out lockers and all that stuff in the boys' locker room. They sealed the doors off in the boys' locker room so nobody can get in, as well as the weight room, so they are secured. We are going to move Mr. Stout over to the office here in the media center during the duration of the construction. And we're moving the athletic trainer over to the middle school kitchen so he has access to water to fill his jugs and all that stuff for the duration of the period. The drywall repair and repainting of the board office is to happen within the next 2 weeks. And after they are done painting, we will take care of the carpet and redo that as well. The middle school gym will be painted on July 12th, and the gym floor finished on July 5th. We tried to get it so that the gym floors were where the gym was painted before the gym floors, but scheduling did not allow that to the kids getting, headaches or anything like that. That will be done around the buildings, and then we will do another fertilizer and weed spraying done on the baseball field. We kind of held off on that because I didn't know about Acme not being playing this year until last week. So we'll get that done. I want the grass to get some more moisture in it, a little bit cooler temperature. So hopefully maybe this week or next week, we'll get that done. Projects that we are working on right now, we are currently running new Ethernet to all the classrooms to run access points. We are installing 10 Clever Touches and 5 smart words throughout the district. And we installed the NOAA basketball system in the gym for the basketball. The middle school lot will be resealed and restriped this summer, as well as the bus lot. And next summer, we'll repave the high school lot where they are doing construction at. Is there any questions for the field?
I don't know if you've seen the baselines and
I have
pretty
not
much
seen
where
last
the
go.
grass meets the dirt.
Right.
It's getting,
round.
Yeah. So I will get a hold of Tyler and see if he can come out and look at it.
there's, you've seen a lot of young lines. So
Yep.
it looks a lot better. than it is now.
Right.
And go full out on the practice field.
I gotta get a hold of RJ and see if he, Mr. Lumberreaser, and see if he can come out and remark the field from where we did it. We did it with tape measures and stuff like that last summer.
So that'd be up before season starts.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Ms. Miller. Mr. Samola.
Yeah, all of our work now is planning for the next school year. The administrative team has been working to get everything ready. As I had mentioned at the previous meeting, our district theme for next year is building the foundation for student success. And we have developed 4 district goals for the next school year. Those being maintain in-person instruction for next school year. We're reviewing cleaning and safety protocols to make sure that we stay healthy and on campus all year. We are going to relaunch the strategic planning process. We're in the 3rd year of it, and it is time for a reboot because most of the goals we had established 3 years ago, have been completed. So we will again conduct a SWOT analysis, staff, student, and parent surveys in order to identify areas of need for improvement. We will then develop new district goals for the next 3 years. We plan to finalize a revised version of the Viking Compass, which is our existing strategic plan, by the end of the current school year, so it goes into effect the following year. 3rd goal, implement OTES 2.0 teacher evaluation system. The revised teacher evaluation system provides administrator feedback to teachers that supports high quality teaching and learning. teachers and administrators focus on data and observation to improve instruction. So we were under the OTES system. This is 2.0 revised by the state. So we have to make some accommodations to implement that successfully for the next school year. And the fourth goal is to develop and implement our district PBIS team. Each building has created a team. So we also need a district team. So the team will consist of 2 members from each building, along with district administrators. We also look for the district team to partner with the University of Toledo to gain their expert guidance and to provide clinical opportunity for their students in the program. So should be a good partnership with them. In addition to these district goals, each building is developing building level goals related to student achievement and staff development. So everything getting ready for next school year. Any questions?
I guess this may have been a good one from when our administrators were. Are we fully staffed? All our teachers? Are we in search of any teachers right now, or is everything a-okay?
Andrew, the last teacher we
Okay.
needed to get on board.
Welcome.
And-
That's all I had.
Oh.
Thanks.
Eric, do you have anything else, or
That was it.
good? Okay. Any board members with questions or concerns? League update. Could you just give us that real quick?
They are still looking. Nothing has changed. No one has made a move. Swanton is still looking at the potential of leaving the NWAL. They want to see where other schools that were in the conversation before stand. And no action. And we had talked that the goal for Evergreen was not to initiate any move, but to be ready to respond if we needed to. So nothing has changed at this point.
Awesome.
And they know that, right?
Yes, they do.
And I haven't seen nothing. Does the NWAL know that we're committed to them
Mhm.
right now? I just haven't seen nothing in the paper.
Yep, I just want to make sure. Have a get back to that. The other thing was we didn't have any further discussion with drug testing. Does anybody on the board want to? Because I know we had a few different discussions, and then we just kind of then stopped. So I don't know if anybody where we're at. I feel like we should give Mr. Schmidt some kind of idea about where we're at with it, but it's just kind of stopped. So, anybody have any strong feelings about it? Any changes?
As far as
The whole, yeah.
me personally, I'd like to see it, if anything, added to all extracurricular and everything, because we're sending band members to Florida. You know, I think extracurricular, you should do it. It ain't. I don't think it's anything bad.
I agree. I don't think it's something that we should get rid of. I think when you look at the schools around us, there's if you drive to school, they're testing you. So I don't see why we shouldn't expand it to all extracurriculars.
I agree.
I'd be 100% okay with that. It's a after discussion with several high school kids, it is a deterrent from bad behavior. There's no doubt in my mind that it is a deterrent. And if we can do that, I think we should do that.
Yeah. One kid thinking twice about it is worth it. So, we have a motion for next board meeting? That
I will
we would
work on
like-
new language to revise that policy to expand it that the board can vote on in July. Yes.
And I guess I'll just note, I mean, one couple things. It's $300 a month right now. So you're talking about expanding it. It's going to cost more. You know, I'll note the cost, and I'll note too, it does not test for the most abused drug by high school kids, which is alcohol. So, you know, I mean, I question the utility of the testing process before. You're building in a lot of exceptions. The guy who talked wanted us to build in exceptions to exceptions. I think the board needs to think very hard about how it implements this program. If we're going to have a broad program with all kinds of exceptions built in, are we creating a Leviathan here? And what's the purpose of that? So, I mean, you know, I'm happy to look at a motion, happy to talk about it, but I think everybody needs to know it costs money. It doesn't test for alcohol, which is the most abused drug. And, you know, we have to implement it in a way that's going to be fair to everybody.
And I would hope we received a letter from Great Lakes Biomedical that explains their confidentiality and how that works. Explaining it's not HIPAA, but
Right.
how that works. And I hope maybe sitting down with the parents that have talked to us that this can help some of that subside that and where we go from there. But again, they can, if their child's playing a sport, they could be tested then and then pull them out when they're not in that sport or that extracurricular. At the same time, you look at the list of schools that are drug testing, these are just in our area. And so I don't care what league we're in, they're testing everywhere. So I don't think it's outlandish to test our students. I personally know in my family, Evergreen football player did time for drugs that started here at Evergreen as he was in high school.
The cost is not of concern
So the
to
cost
me either.
to me, no, not at all.
I'll be honest with you. If we really want to be serious about it, my understanding is they have vape detectors now.
Mhm.
We should add them to the
The
bathrooms. I mean, if we really want to be serious about it.
Mhm.
I wasn't aware that they had vape detectors, but that is my understanding. And if we want kids not to vape, we should put them in the bathrooms. I mean, it's essentially smoking in the boys' room.
Oh, I hear
thought
there,
they
there's
ended
a
in
lot.
the 70s.
There's a lot in the girls' bathroom. There's I hear
So,
about that. In middle
And
school.
my understanding is any kids that vape are vaping with nicotine as well, which would be caught on the test. I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
So my understanding is any high school kids that vape with nicotine or something or
TH.
THC, they're not vaping for the flavor, they're vaping for the effect. So we might want to look into that as well.
We'll look into the cost and
Okay.
availability. I know they are out there. I know when they were first introduced.
I don't
very
know how
limited
reliable
in
they
the
are. I
amount
didn't even
of-
know they existed, but it might be. I think it would be.
And that would be a discussion with biomedical. We do that pool of students. Is it an average of the students? How do they usually do that? Is it,
I believe. Percent.
okay. Okay. Okay.
What are they testing for? Right.
Mhm.
What different schools have done, kind of dictated by the school. So we could choose to continue in the same manner that we do. I think there are some schools that do it at the beginning of athletic season. There are certain schools that do certain times quarterly. So
To be as cunning as possible in regards to end of the month and then immediately at the start, so that it was kind of
I know. I'm just
But-
saying less predictable.
Sure.
Better. Kids are smart. I mean, they're smart.
yes, they are.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? All right. July, we don't usually have our administrative and reports.
Correct.
That's okay. Make sure that was going to be the same. And I think that's all I have. Does anybody have anything else? Okay. Then I just need a motion to adjourn the June 21st, 2021 regular meeting of Evergreen Local Board of Education.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Vaculek,
Yes.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper.
Yes, motion carries.